Okay, tonight is September 19th, 2025. I'm in Durham, North Carolina, sky watching for orbs like I do many nights. I always see them if the sky is clear enough, and a lot of times even when it's not very clear. Tonight, I asked them specifically for a flashing orange or red orb, and that's what I got. Now, I haven't seen one of these orange-red flashing ones for about a month, a little over a month. I was at the beach in North Carolina with Chris Bledsoe and a group watching for orbs in August during the Lionsgate portal and a full moon. And we saw, and I recorded, a bright red orb on the beach. Much brighter than this. And what Chris said, and what I also believed from my own experience, is that the flashing orbs give us information or downloads, and I call them light codes. I don't know that everybody calls them that, but it's basically information that comes from the flashing, from the entities, whatever these orbs are. And they are sentient because when I ask them to do certain things, they will. If I say, hey, I need to go inside because there's too many mosquitoes out here, can you do one more thing before I have to go inside? They will show up and get my attention right then. And that's what happened with this flashing orb. Now, I have slowed down this video, and I'm trying to zoom in so you can really see the orange. And I'm not doing the best job. It's hard to keep these things in frame. And then sometimes when you zoom in, you lose it, and the background turns black like it is right now. And then I have to zoom back out, and then I have to go find it again. See, there it is. Look. See how fast it's going? I mean, like, where is it going? It doesn't look much orange right here either, but it was. I even got some screenshots where it was pink. Here it is. Now, see, it's completely out of focus here. That's the other thing. I can't always get my phone to focus. I'm just using a phone. I'm not using any kind of fancy equipment. So I'm going to keep trying to zoom in on it. And the fact that it's stretching like that, I don't know if that's because it is changing its shape or if it's the pixelation and the bad quality of the video, because you can see the whole sky looks like that. But they do change shape. I have seen them, and they sometimes move like gas or water or plasma. They might be made of plasma, I'm not sure. Sometimes they look like tadpoles. Sometimes they look like comets. They have tails. Now you can see the orange and the red more. It looks white from farther away. But when you zoom in, it's definitely orange and pink and red. And they're not all like that. when you zoom in on some of them, they're just white, or they might be rainbow colors, or they might be blue. A lot of them are blue recently, especially the ones that move really fast. But this one is definitely orange, and I haven't seen a flashing one in a long time, or an orange one. And I specifically asked for an orange and red flashing one tonight. Because I would like to get more information, and I fully do believe that that's what's happening. And it also comes through on the videos, by the way. So watching these videos could give you some kind of communication from the orbs, and they're friendly. There's nothing to be afraid of. They are, to me, extremely happy, positive, and friendly beings. What they are, I'm not sure. I have blind remote viewed them, which means our teacher gave us the task, which was just 8 random numbers, just to identify the task for later. But we didn't know anything else about what we were supposed to be looking at. And so psychically, we tune in and record whatever we're getting with our psychic senses for about an hour minimum. And it turned out to be the orbs that we had seen that day, that week at the beach with Chris Bledsoe. We'd seen them every day that week. And I did get that we were looking at orbs, and they did communicate some messages, and they called themselves blue amorphous beings that could be more solid when they needed to be, more physical, but they could also be less physical. They could be more like a cloud, they said. They brought up clouds several times. And I wondered, why they were talking about being blue when I don't normally see blue ones. But then when I got home from this trip, that's all I would see every night in my yard. Blue ones. And it's been like that ever since. And I remember at the time, during my class, when I was, remote viewing them and they were blue, I thought, well, everything in here seems legit. All the things they said made sense. I've seen the orbs enough. They had said that they were made of some kind of energy that connected through nodes all over them, like an interconnectedness. And I got the feeling they are some kind of containment field, and that they can be more solid like another object if they need to be. And I have seen them be different shapes. So I'm going to try to catch this orange part one more time. I started the video over while I was talking, just because I'd like to see a little more detail. I just really like to look at the colors. Okay, that's probably about as good as we're gonna get. Because I kept zooming out and zooming in again, looking for it. Because if you don't zoom in, you're not going to get much detail about it at all. But then when you do zoom in, sometimes you lose it. And that's what keeps happening. Okay, there it is. All right, that's it. Thank you. I hope that made sense.